market flannel and a pair of Wrangler jeans. If you know what I mean. He's got a pair of old boots, he's kicked every rock down the street. Yeah, you know what I mean. I mean, he wants to be a cowboy. Yeah, he calls himself Redneck Sid. He's just looking for adventure, picking fights with the neighbor kids. Yeah, he dreams about the outlaws, 6 shooters and spitting blue, starting fires in his front lawn. You can tell he's not fitting in.
Howdy, campers! Welcome to another episode of Nat Camp, a D&D actual play podcast where our adventurers, our heroes here, are camp counselors at the famous Nat Camp, and they are just up and at 'em for that. Nat Camp is a fantastical summer camp with fun, games, adventure, like the smallest bit of responsibility. And I am your camp counselor outside, or supervisor rather, and game master Zach Veo. And we'll kind of take it right around. Tyson, if you want to start.
I'm Tyson Sunsmo, aka Bison Runs Slow, and I'll be playing Telly Muziki, the Satyr Bard.
I am Ben Lasser. I am playing Gohan Bone Snap, aka Boney the Paladin, the guy who caused all his friends to crap the pants last week. So friendship is something I'm working on.
I am Danny Phillips, and I am playing Poppy, the coolest horse girl you'll ever meet.
I'm Jared Natsky. I'm playing Malcolm Farrison, the Mountain Dwarf monk, and Malcolm loves crapping his pants. He would do it again. He meant to that. In fact, actually, it wasn't an accident. It's fine.
Awesome. And then just a quick shout out to our Patreon patrons, not Patreons. Thank you so much for all of your contributions, your help, everything like that, to kind of keep everything up and running and going for us. For those of you who are not, we do have a Patreon as well as an Indiegogo. Really, all of our information can be found on our website, natcamppod.com. So feel free to go check that out and, go crazy there. But we'll jump into it. So last episode, just quick recap, got done our first real combat encounter. You guys did fantastic. Boney kind of tricked a couple of you, or really just Malcolm, into drinking the lake water, which did not bode too well. And then unfortunately, the other two fell suit as well. And you were able to successfully beat the kobolds as well as the sea hag. But there is something mysteriously approaching you from the woods there. So, last we left off, Telly, you rolled not so hot for the lake water.
I'm pretty sure that was a nat 1.
It was.
Yeah.
And then Poppy, you found some solace behind a tree right at the end of the session there. So you guys, you hear the rustling and back and forth of this thing coming closer to you. You hear wood on wood, like stuff clacking against each other, sticks breaking, brush moving. How would you like to prepare for this? Well, it's coming at you.
I'd like to become a horse.
Okay, fantastic. You finish just pooping in the woods, and you immediately become horse.
Can I roll insight on this thing? Is it like a terrifying creature? Are we about to fight again, or?
Sure. Do you want to roll a perception?
Sure. Yes. 11.
11. Okay. So with an 11, I mean, a bit of a, like, you can't see it fully right now. It's still kind of making its way through the thick of the trees and such. but it's not, it seems to be kind of back and forth, making like a whole bunch of noise. So if it is a threat, it's not doing a very good job of like getting from point A to point B quickly. So yeah.
Then I'll focus on like shitting first.
Okay. Yeah, so you rolled that constitution. So you're like, you felt it go down. You realized it really wasn't like a good decision to take a swig of that. And nothing's happened yet. It is still kind of processing in your body. So what would everybody else like to do? Poppy, you turn into a horse. Boney and Malcolm.
Can I pick the head of the hag that I killed? And it's like a seaweed for hair, right?
Kinda, yeah. So it doesn't necessarily have seaweed growing out of it, but it covered itself in, a bunch of like aquatic fauna, seaweed being one of them. So.
Okay, I'm gonna kind of twirl that around to improvise a makeshift panel, kind of sling the head over my shoulder. Like, hey, you think this is what the big hairy guy meant when he said he wants cool things? Oh, if I'm gonna keep it, it's a nice trophy. And by the way, does anyone need healing? I still got my my magic hands.
I would love some healing, actually, yes.
I can make you feel not sick, or I can cure like your injuries. Which do you choose?
So, I don't feel sick. I would prefer you heal my injuries.
Okay.
That thing sliced me across the back pretty good.
Okay, I'm gonna pump 8 points of lay on hands into Telly.
Ooh, thank you.
Hey.
Oh, do you want some too? Horse who I assume is Poppy, but I'm not 100% sure.
Nay.
Okay. Malcolm, you need any healing?
I don't like need healing, but if you wanted to give me healing, I wouldn't stop you.
I can either cure your stomach disease or close your wounds. What do you want, buddy?
The wounds, the blood is coming out a lot.
Okay, I'm gonna pump probably 5 points into Malcolm, and then give myself 2 to completely exhaust my lay on hands pool.
Awesome. So
Did I not get hurt at all in that battle?
You didn't. I don't believe you got hit a single time.
I didn't. Not once.
You were invisible for half of it.
I was invisible.
You were super sneaky, and then you kept your distance the whole time.
I got pummeled.
Yeah. So Boney healed you guys up at least as much as he could. And from the thick, you witness it's a black silhouette on all fours, just kind of thrashing about, much like a puppy through the woods. Has a stick in its mouth. It's swinging around with a tail, and as it gets closer and closer, you do realize that it's not a dog. It doesn't have fur. It actually has a scaly exterior, and upon closer inspection, this is a very young black dragon playing with a stick through the woods as it's just kind of like thrashing about and playing around, and it just kind of stops immediately, like mid-play, and is just staring at all of you with like a stick in its mouth.
I want to go make its acquaintance. Just gallop over to it.
So you kind of trot yourself over to this little dragon. Telly, can you make an insight check for me? Poppy, you go over and you kind of like go to smell it a little bit, and it kind of goes to smell you a little bit. And it's like, you know how an animal will just kind of like flare its nostrils, like bring them in and like all that cute stuff. It's essentially what's happening between the two of you. It's kind of like when two dogs come like face to face on the sidewalk. Yeah, a little bit. Just kind of like smelling.
I got an 8.
You got an 8. Okay. Okay, with an 8, the stick in its mouth is, looks like a pretty solid. It's probably going to be better than your stick. It's kind of survived like the thrashing through the woods that it's had.
All right, I'm gonna wait and make sure it's friendly with horse Poppy before I try and take anything out of its mouth.
Yeah, it is. So Poppy and this little dragon are just kind of like sniffing each other back and forth. The innocence just irradiating.
Can I take one of the kobold corpses that Telly or Malcolm killed and kind of wing into the dragon like, hey buddy, do you want a snack? Do you want a snack? With me just one hand with this corpse.
I think that's a terrible choice, and I take the stick I currently have and snap it into 2 sticks, which is better than the 1 stick it currently has, and offer it as a trade.
Awesome. So Boney, you grab a corpse. You kind of go over. Can you roll persuasion?
Yes. Trying to remember what my persuasion is. Oh, that's 17. No, wait, no. My charisma is +2, so yeah, 18.
Okay, great. So you pick up one of these kobold corpses, and you pull it over to the dragon. It kind of like goes up to sniff it, and it doesn't bite. It doesn't do much of anything for it. It just kind of like isn't really about it all that much. But it seems to understand that it's like a gift that you're trying to give it, and so it's not angry at you for that.
It'd be like when a dog brings a dead rabbit into the house and is like, this is yours now. That's
Good boys, that's girl. Can I figure out which it is?
Can you roll an insight? And then Telly, you break your stick in half over your knee. You kind of offer it to the little dragon. It drops the stick that it has and kind of goes over and sniffs. It just grabs like one of the small ones, seeing that it can fit it fully in its mouth, and it's just kind of like playing around with like the smaller one, just kind of like shaking it about. You didn't really think that dragons had a gender, Boney, with a 4. He's like, are they asexual? Are they? I mean, they're long gone. It's not like you really had to learn about them. They're just dragons.
When a mommy dragon and a daddy dragon love each other very much, they send for a stork delivery service to bring the egg, and
Exactly. So this stick that it dropped, you can see just kind of like with the saliva from the dragon, it's just kind of like picking up a bunch of like leaves and stuff that's like getting stuck to it because it's been playing with it for a while. And then Malcolm, anybody else, what would you guys like to do?
I want to return to my human form.
Okay.
And I have with me a trophy that I carry around. I want to give the dragon the trophy because I know they like shiny things.
Okay. Fantastic. Yeah. So when you kind of like poof back to being a human, the sound actually kind of like jumps it, because you were like behind it at that point. It went up to check out the kobold and stuff. So it kind of like jumps back. He's like, looks at you, and then you offer it this shiny thing. Its eyes it immediately drops the stick that it has, and it goes over and grabs the little trophy that you offer it, and then just kind of scurries back.
Can I try to pet it?
Sure. Can you make an animal handling check?
Animal handling. 19.
19. You. Yeah. Okay. So with a 19, fantastic. So you're not able to just like sit there and like consistently pet it, but when you kind of like take a hand off the trophy that you're handing it, and you're able to, as it grabs the trophy, just like pet its head like once or twice, and then it kind of like takes it and backs up. So you were successfully able to touch a dragon. And so it's kind of backing up. And then Malcolm, I'll give you kind of a go of something if you'd like to do anything.
Malcolm's sort of annoyed, so he's gonna So we used to get these in the caves, and they steal our treasure. They're pretty annoying. Is there anyone have any paprika? They hate the smell of paprika, so you sprinkle it around, they'll kind of go away. We should just shoot, go,
You
go
will
away,
not
go away.
sue away this dragon. He is our friend. He is for now on our friend.
Okay, well don't blame me when I try to tell you he's gonna take anything shiny you have. They're a real pest.
I don't have anything shiny. Have you seen the condition I keep my shield in?
Oh, it looks like shit.
As you guys kind of talk about this, you hear in the distance a very deep, bellowing roar of what you can only imagine is this thing, but larger. As the deep bellow, the dragon's ears perk up. It still has your trophy, and it just immediately darts for the lake as it jumps right into the water and disappears.
Well, that put a bad implication on anything after that point.
Yeah, that's definitely what a bigger dragon sounds like.
Dude,
I'm picking up that stick and brushing it off.
Fantastic. Yes, you pick up the stick. Can you roll like a sleight of hand for me really quick? And then Malcolm, can you actually roll an animal handling with advantage for me?
15.
15. All right, cool. So you grab the stick. You notice that it kind of picked up a bunch of like debris, like leaves and pine needles, stuff like that. So when you pick it up, your hand is essentially just touching the pine needles and stuff, but you can see it's like a caustic layer of saliva, and almost it's like a greenish hue from the dragon that it left on this thing. But it's like, if you were to try and touch it, you would probably imagine that it might sting a little bit. It's like it's seemingly acidic, but it doesn't seem to be doing much damage to the stick itself. It's just kind of sitting on the surface right now.
Could I use Mage Hand to clean this item?
Sure. Yeah. Here, does Mage Hand have any health? Do you know?
Not that I see. It just can't lift more than 10 pounds, and it can't activate magic items or attack.
Okay. Super cool. Yeah. So you do that. So your little mage hand just kind of like, grabs a hold of the stick and just slides itself down, just picking up the saliva off of this thing. But you can see there's still some remnants of it, but not like on the surface. It's like it's kind of been worked in like a good, like mineral oil or something like that onto some wood. And so you have this stick. It fits great in the hand. It's like the perfect length. You didn't really fully realize it at first, but it's like a solid material or solid wood and stuff. It's in good shape. And then Malcolm, what did you get for that? Check.
One of my 2 rolls was a nat 20.
So your history with the mines, your hometown, and your little tidbit about paprika, you know that black dragons, their lairs tend to be in caves and like little marshy areas, generally near some bodies of water. And they're pretty individualistic as far as dragons go. I mean, most are, but black dragons specifically kind of are on their own there. But within their caves, there's always access to something. And so this thing kind of came from up the trail a little bit, the trail that you guys found off the kind of main beaten path that you've been traveling. And it kind of came from up there. The kobolds were kind of like standing guard. So kind of use that information as you wish and do whatever you want. But that's kind of what you know as far as these black dragons. And then if in the future with that role, if you want any more information as far as like any know-how about black dragons, just ask and I can, fill you in and let you know. And then Breezy is just going to be standing behind Boney, like near hyperventilating, just oh my god, that's I didn't know those were here.
So like that wasn't in your brochure, because like it wasn't in our brochure. Like I'm thinking that's kind of a big thing to not mention.
You got a brochure?
Yeah, man, they emailed it to me like last minute. It was honestly mostly self-aggrandizing, perhaps saying, "Oh, we're the best camp in the world." Did not mention pay, which I very much noticed.
Yeah.
There was a checklist of items to bring. Did no one else read the checklist of items to bring? Well, on the checklist was paprika to ward off dragons. So obviously, I knew there were. Did everyone not read the checklist?
No,
I would.
Why would there be pay?
I'm gonna
Yes,
scoop
the
Breezy.
checklist didn't mention pay.
I'm gonna scoop Breezy into a piggyback and be like, "We should get this little guy back to camp. He's kind of freaking out."
Frog Child, do you feel any affinity towards that dragon? You're similar in, I think, cousins species-wise.
I don't
You're
remember
both
this
reptiles.
You both slime.
Yes.
As a non-human creature, I feel a little offended on behalf of Breezy. Not gonna lie.
Oh, sorry. I do genuinely apologize. Was that insensitive?
That's like being like a frog is the same as a snake. That's not really that close. It's like we got legs, but like I'm smooth and he's not. No, man, that's not how it works.
I completely understand. If somebody said I was similar to an elf, I would strike them because that's very rude and inaccurate. My apologies,
You're
Frog
not an
Child.
elf?
I stand by the fact that you both slime. I feel it. So.
Poppins, I will let that one go, but not a second time.
That's not my name.
I'm sure it is.
I head back to the main trail.
Okay, cool.
I want to meet a big dragon.
No.
Bad idea.
I'm
Nope.
50-50 on that, to be honest. Because
I'd like to ride one.
I 100% won't let you do that.
Very, very. I would not advise that at all.
Riding a dragon
I
does
start
sound-
sobbing.
Oh,
Sounds
Poppins
so
is sobbing.
Her crying. She's not getting her way. She's just breaking down.
Oh no! Maybe one day you ride a dragon if it doesn't
Don't touch me.
eat you. Okay, I won't touch you, but
There.
you know,
Don't
maybe
be
one
crying.
day you'll ride a dragon if it doesn't eat you when you go first. Like 50-50. Like either you'll die horribly or you have a great experience. Either way. Boney's trying his best here.
So, Telly, you are just taking off for camp and roll.
Not like taking off. I'm like strolling, not
Okay.
in a rush.
So you got Breezy in a bit of a backpack. Or like piggyback. He's enjoying it, as you make your way back to the trail. Is everybody else following? Are you guys wanting to do anything else before you do anything else?
And I just have my hag head over my shoulder and just walking around, trying my best to talk down Poppy. But I look scary, so I don't know how well I can do.
I gaze longingly at the direction where the loud roar came from, but I'll reluctantly follow the pit
Okay.
and everyone.
No,
Awesome.
I'm also following everyone back.
Great. So you guys take off. You start making your way to camp and roll. Excuse me. And you get there. Like it's a very well beaten path. I mean, this is a bit of a fluke of a encounter that you've come across. So You get there, it's just about like, I would say the equivalent of like 2-3 o'clock in the day, right? So you got to camp in the morning. This is still your first day of camp, by the way. For those of you who didn't know. So you got there, like bright and early for work, and then you were kind of sent on this. And between the fight and the travels, that puts you at right around just after noon. So you guys get there. Yeah, it's like 2-3 o'clock. It took you the better part of a day to kind of get to camp and roll. And you start rolling up. Breezy kind of stops the piggyback as he gets excited. He's pretty familiar with this part of the trail. He's just kind of like be in front, as most kids do on a trail. And you guys get nice and close. Can you all roll like a perception?
Nat 20.
Ooh.
Lucky 7.
7, nice.
10.
Okay.
Good old 10.
And then
Dude,
Poppy,
this
would
like-
you?
If this is like a murder mystery that comes up with all parties' wisdom, we are
14.
14. Great. So everybody, aside from Boney, you hear what you would expect from a musical bard camp is music. You'd expect some harmonizing, some good sounds, some people having fun. It's surprisingly quiet as you approach the camp. And you do start to notice that maybe there's like 1 or 2 or like 5 more smoke trails going up than one would imagine from a summer camp. As you guys get closer and closer, you do realize that it's near in shambles. A lot of the buildings have been partially destroyed and crushed in. There's one of the smaller shacks is entirely on fire. You have, these kids, these bards, and the camp staff running around, putting fires out and trying to make sure everybody is all good. And you have a particular individual kind of in the middle of it all, directing people and kids to try and make sure everybody is accounted for and things are getting taken care of.
Froggy, I don't want to say this is your fault, but I think it's your fault.
What? How? But I just wasn't even like. What was I gonna do?
Don't yell at me.
It appears the camp was attacked by someone who hates music. That's the most likely scenario.
I'm gonna pop Breezy down and be like, okay, kiddo, go make some friends.
Oh my god. And it seems like he kind of finds somebody that he's familiar with, and he just kind of runs over to like grab a bucket or 2 or, what have you. He's trying to play as many spells and stuff like that to like help people out as he can. And then as you kind of let him run off, the individual in the center notices him, a new kid, essentially, introduced to all of the hullabaloo, and, stares you guys down, starts walking towards you.
Hey dude,
Oh, sorry, go on.
Hey dude, I'm Boney. First of all, I'm a paladin of the Church of the Grazing Mustangs, so I very much appreciate your mission of putting music in this world.
Boney's launching this very long speech. I just sort of push him aside and I'm like, Malcolm Ferguson reporting for duty. How can we help? It appears you're under attack.
I hide behind Boney.
Okay, go first. You can start by putting...
Speak up, sir. Madam, whatever you... Sir, hello. We can't hear you.
This is as loud as I'm going to talk. My vocal cords can't take it. You, all of you, can you please put out the fire of the building that's right over there? And then tend to the wounded.
Why?
Copy that.
Yeah, dude, we'll do it. Quick question. Did the thing that, did it happen to be a, giant, black lizard?
much.
Or dragon. He's talking about a dragon.
I just heard a lot of screaming, and then all of a sudden, this wreckage, no doubt the fault of the Nat Camp people. That's what's causing
Oh.
ruckus.
Oh.
Goodness.
Why are you so calm?
We'll talk about that later. Let's go put out the fires.
So you all effectively, as adults, for the most part, were able to put your brains together to effectively extinguish the fire of one of the smaller buildings. You kind of gathered all the campers, made sure everybody was accounted for, and helped any injuries. Luckily, it seemed pretty minor, no fatalities, stuff like that. Just like some bumps, bruises, maybe a broken bone here and there. But there's magic in this world, so it doesn't really matter. And then Boney, what were you gonna say?
Oh, I was gonna say, so I still have the hag head over my shoulder while I'm doing my best to solve everything. Is anyone can I say, don't worry, it's dead?
Yeah, I mean, it seems pretty self-explanatory given the fact that it's a disembodied head. But as you kind of go and kids are staring in fear of the head, but also fear of the fire. You kind of reassure them that it's nothing bad. And
Bernard, why do you
eventually
have
it's to a point. Wait, what?
Bernard, why do you still have that?
Because the Zartari dude says he'll give us rewards if we bring back cool stuff. A head of a hag is cool stuff. He wanted goblin teeth. I don't want to give him my campus teeth, okay? That's weird. I
There's
think if
several
he's
treaties banning this type of thing, this type of trophy taking. I could name them off right now, but I'm choosing not to. But there's several.
I mean, I don't think the swamp monsters of the world came to the UN to sign the treaty, so I think we're good. Their population's not covered.
I'm just saying it's frowned upon.
I do think it's a little messed up. You're just carrying a severed head around a children's camp, but we can discuss that later.
Just put it in a satchel of some sort.
I put it in a satchel that's a quarter of the size of the head.
You just have seaweed sticking out of the top. It's very notable.
The eyes are peeking out.
Yeah, it's the eyes and the seaweed, the forehead is totally visible, but for the most part, it's being held by the satchel.
I kind of imagine this thing to look like old Greg. It looks like old Greg is poking out of a backpack.
100%.
Very unsettling, but I suppose if you turn it upside down, the mouth would just be sticking out. That'd be worse. So,
and the severed side of it all. But anyway, so you guys are able to, help the crisis. Things have been extinguished. People are kind of all gathered. And this individual that you kind of met at the beginning comes back over to you and kind of gathers you guys together. Breezy comes over as well. He feels like he needs to be included. And he's like, thank you so much for helping us out.
Whisper, we would like an after-action report on the attack. Please debrief us.
Some large thing swooped in and destroyed stuff, as well as burning one of our buildings. And it's just kind of ridiculous at a camp like this that something like that would happen.
Yes, it was a dragon, right? It was a dragon did it. Probably.
So
I can play the ukulele.
Everybody here can play the ukulele. My goodness.
I don't have to be mean about it.
To be fair, I can also play the ukulele. I just haven't said it 5 times.
Poppins is very sensitive. Please be nice to Poppins.
I hide behind Boney again.
Okay, Poppy.
She starts crying and it makes me very uncomfortable.
Poppy, if it's any consolation, I can't play the ukulele. I tried one time and I got splinters. Oh, okay. I won't talk to you.
Whisperer, I believe your name was?
Sorry, no, that's not my name. My name is Braltiel. I am the head counselor at this camp.
Okay.
Broden. It was Broden then, right?
Thank you. It was hard to hear. Thank you, Malcolm. Bronin, why did you blame Nat Camp?
Well, we're just here to play music, but Nat Camp is like all about adventuring. And like Lord knows you stirred something up.
Music's an adventure.
You play music in the middle of a woods.
It's made the most sense that you guys have said so far. Music is an adventure. Thank you.
So you're welcome that we enjoy adventuring because your frog child wandered into the wrong camp and we got him here safely.
Oh, thank you, Breezy. Why?
Name is Froggy.
What?
Froggy.
His name's Breezy. This is like the second year he's been here. I don't know why he went to the wrong camp.
Because you don't know what his name is. Poppin says his name is Froggy. It's Froggy.
Name's Froggy.
You should yell at him.
Breezy. My name's Breezy. I told you guys that. Like,
Not really
before.
yelling.
Breezy, why are you whispering?
It just seems like a very tense moment. So I just, my name is Breezy, not Froggy. Actually, that's a little,
Confused.
kind of weird, potentially derogatory.
When
So
did
is there any payment available for getting the frog child here? We're not being paid by Nat Camp for anything, really.
Yeah, most of the like counselors and stuff at Nat Camp don't get paid anyway, so it doesn't even matter. But if you must, how about this? You relay a message for me back to Nat Camp.
That just doesn't sound like a form of payment.
Well,
Sounds like you're asking us to do another thing for you.
exactly, because you essentially owe us a thing.
How do we owe you for getting your camper here safely? Like,
Look at it this way. Look, when you work for a company and you wear that company's name on like a shirt, every decision that you make is reflected on that company. So, the fact that you are affiliated with Nat Camp, and it's most likely Nat Camp's doing that. Whatever bullshit happened, I'm blaming you.
Okay, so
And so
do you not have internet out here? Dwarfinity doesn't cover this area. You can't just email whoever you need to.
Valkyrie can't like extend their internet. This is like
Oh, it's
totally
Valkyrie.
unheard
Oh
of.
gosh, they're terrible.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it's like you might as well not even have internet. I know what you're dealing with. But,
Thank you.
I want to let you know, and it's not your fault because I feel like maybe it's a medical condition, but the way you whisper and you're also passive aggressive, it comes off a little insensitive. You seem rude.
I'm sorry if I'm insensitive that my camp got burned down because of the bullshit that the owners of this whole like place have here. So
this negotiation is very spiraling out of control. Could you what's the message?
yes, please relay that unless this issue, both with the lake water as well as whatever did this, is taken care of, you can it's this camp goodbye for next year. So that's a whole bunch of all that stuff that,
Why do we care?
well, your owners will care. And if you don't do a good job, then you'll probably face some repercussions somewhere down the line there.
This is all very vague, both the message and the explanation for the message.
Right.
Just
You adventurers just need to figure out the lake water issue because we can't even swim in it, as well as what you're saying it's a dragon, right? So if it's confirmed that it's a dragon that did this, then you just have to get dealt with, all right? That's your job. We're just here to play music. You're here to be adventurers. So
Hey,
why don't you get that taken care of.
Hey, Breezy, why don't you tell your counselor who's strong enough to drink the lake water and not feel any side effects?
Actually, I'm pretty sure you described that you just tampered with the lake water.
Because I'm so powerful, I can do that.
I mean, I suppose. I mean, it's a pretty nifty spell.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I must admit that Bernard was the only one who drank the lake water and did not immediately defecate, so perhaps he could help you.
I have not defecated one time.
Oh. Well, maybe Bernard and your name is Torvald. Torvald. Maybe Bernard or Torvald could help you.
Yeah, that's totally it. You nailed it.
Well, listen,
Good memory.
I will relay a message. I'll do anything, but I feel like the biggest injustice that's been done here is that this great young impressive musician has been going here for 2 years. Has not heard the legacy of the Grazing Mustangs, a band so rockin'. The 2 lead members literally ascended into godhood. Like, listen, I understand you gotta cover your classical, you gotta cover your genres, but I feel like, for the sake of the rock and roll community, the Grazing Mustangs need to be featured.
Bernard talks about them a lot. They must be well known.
Yeah, rock is important, I guess. Although it's just like kind of derived from country and then blues from that, and just really just this whole process.
I can turn into a horse.
Maybe if you turn into a horse and everybody rides you, you can deliver my message sooner and get this dragon nonsense taken care of.
I don't like to be ridden. I'm not that kind of horse.
I mean, it's free.
What were you saying, Elf?
It is, I am a dwarf, and also, and he just kind of like storms off, and he just starts throwing his knife at a tree over and over to try to calm down.
Just attacking a tree. Fantastic.
I'm gonna follow Malcolm. Honestly, between your whispering and the pettiness in your voice, this is just, it feels very elitist here. Enjoy your fire festival. And I follow Malcolm.
Thank you, Will.
Remember us when if you had a vessel here, maybe you could actually defend your camp. I love the arts. I grew up to appreciate the arts. What the hell is Noah's gonna do without someone with an axe to protect him when a fucking dragon comes? I just walk out.
I mean, the Grazing Mustangs don't.
What? Speak up. Maybe if you studied metal like a good musician, you'd have the courage for me to hear you from over here.
All of a sudden, this person shapeshifts from what looked to be normal humanoid to reddish in skin, like near sprouting horns, and just calls to you. He's like, "The Grazing Mustangs are passive."
I take out my axe, then slowly put it back in his holster. Like, he's not worth it. He's not worth it.
Adventurers, they are, if they're so passive, right? They haven't needed somebody to fight up until this point.
So we couldn't hear you. There's a slight breeze going on a county over.
Oh my goodness, and now I'm the petty one. Should get in line.
Hi, I'm back. I've calmed down.
Okay, thank you. You've been the most reasonable to deal with, so I'm sorry for my behavior. Because
Thank you.
So, if you could please.
I think I'm a delight.
You've been pretty quiet, so I guess you're pretty alright too.
A music camp where they elect the people who are quiet.
I'm quiet for my vocal cords, sir. If you could please just deliver the message about the dragon, I'm sure, your people in your camp know about some of this stuff. They might be able to, help you get to the bottom of it. And then I won't have to talk to, the owner members of the camp. We can just get it all dealt with here, you know. So,
I'd like to leave now.
okay.
Becoming a real give an elf a honey cake situation. You know what I mean?
If you give a mouse a cookie, he'll ask for clams and milk. So
I don't understand that one. That's
I
completely different from what I just said.
I also walk back over. Hey, I'm sorry I lost my cool. It seems like everyone else is fine with you.
it's just a very stressful situation. I mean, my camp just got fucking like half burned down. So you can imagine the kind of financial pressure I'm under right now.
Well, yeah, and then you kind of blamed us, and we didn't even know about Nat Camp's history, so you can imagine how we got defensive, and...
Everyone's really just saying a lot of makes sense, like the mouse and cookie thing. I didn't like understand that at all.
Whenever you have like a bakery good, you want like some milk, right? It's kind of
A
like
horse a cookie.
Yeah, like, oh yeah, okay, yeah. So like, if you give an elf a honey cake, on a flagon of mead is what I. Okay, I see how they're still. Yeah,
very similar.
similar. Yes. Okay.
Okay. We're all on the same
I like the whisperer now.
We're all on the same vibe. We're good.
Yes.
Cool.
Okay, cool. So, how about this? So, if you could do this for me, I will think of a best way to repay you. And if you end up back here at
Are
some
you
point,
flirting with us?
no, I'm trying to bargain.
I'm not interested.
Well, there's 3 others of you, so I don't know if you speak for the whole group in this circumstance.
Okay, so you are flirting, though, is what you're saying.
I bat
also
my eyes.
I'm also feeling something.
Yeah, just like throughout each of you just being like, why are you flirting this individual who's a changeling, by the way? You just see flickers of each of your respective races to kind of like match what each of you are, as it kind of like cycles through each of you saying something as far as in relation to like flirting. It's like,
Okay, look. If you could please just head back and then get this dragon nonsense taken care of, I'm sure. Because, I mean, if you know much of anything about dragons, they kind of have an effect on the stuff around them, right? So, maybe if you get the dragon thing taken care of, maybe like the lake, or, the mountains have been kind of weird too, so maybe like one of those things will get dealt with if you deal with the dragon. I mean, I heard something more earlier, and maybe that was it, or another one, if there's a second one, I don't know, but like, if you could please just get that taken care of, that would be fantastic.
Are the cabins here really weird and hot as well?
No, ours are just normal cabins. I know, I'm pretty sure they just do that to fuck with you, but...
Did you say hot?
Yeah,
Yeah.
cabin appeared normal. I inspected it thoroughly. It was just a cabin.
My fur froze the minute I stepped into mine.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about frostbite on my hooves. What are you talking about?
No water. So hot.
Bernard, is your cabin normal or not normal?
I mean, it's a regular tent. It's a tent. Granted, we're suspended above the ground near a dangerous cliff. Well, then that's pretty normal.
Mine appeared standard issue. Very strange.
Maybe they didn't think you could handle it.
Well, listen, Whispering Dude. Well, we'll relate the message, see what we can do about the dragon, and you, as a reward, we're gonna teach these kids the value of metal.
I mean, we do touch on it briefly, but I guess we can like stay on it a little bit longer. I mean, it is kind of like an extension of rock and roll, and then whenever you really have a lot of like classical music and like vocal blues and stuff like that to think. So okay, we'll make sure to stay on it a little bit longer.
Plus,
Malcolm's already stormed away because he was mad at Poppin's comment. Or sorry, Poppy.
okay. So Malcolm, you storm. You storm away. Is anybody else, I guess, wanting to just follow, or like, what do you guys want to do?
I follow.
I'll follow behind Boney.
He's grumbling. I could handle the cliff cabin.
Before I follow, I want to be like, it looks like it's gonna be a lot to like put this place back together. But if you guys do a end of summer concert, we love an invitation. It would be super cool.
Of course, yeah, we invite you guys every single year. Only like a couple of you make it though, but like, it's good to know that you'd be interested. So we'll make sure to invite.
Cool. All right, we'll see you around. And then I follow.
Bye bye.
And they kind of turn around and do their thing and interact with their campers as you guys take off to head back. Now, would you like to head back the same way that you kind of got to the camp? As far as like path, because you were given 2 paths to get there, right? You had like the north and the south. So if they each converge at the same camp, you have an equal choice back. What was that?
I want to see the baby dragon again. So I want to go down the same path.
Okay, cool.
I have no objection.
Okay, awesome. I'll say, so with that, because you're familiar with the path and everything, I'll say you can travel this a bit quicker. So you're not, what's up?
When we're halfway in between from Camp Anvil and Nat Camp, I'm gonna look around like, okay, dudes, so I've been thinking, the whispering dude, honestly, I think he was kind of a prick with 0 musical tastes. However, I'm not gonna lie, I've been a little confused about Nat Camp's operation too, because like I'm not a mathematolite or whatever you call people who are good with numbers, but there are like way more than 4 people who die each day, but yet we're specifically the ones. I think the name was Edith and Jonathan chose to bring back. And I know I'm here, so I know it's not that we were the most deserving, and I assumed like, oh, hey, they must like us. They must have some reason for sponsoring our resurrection. Okay, I should meet these guys and thank them, but like they don't even bother to show up. So like I don't understand what's going on. Like they sponsored 4 random resurrections, then don't have any seeming reason why. Like I'm not like, listen, life usually just confuses me, but like what's going on with that camp confuses me further. Like do we trust the camp?
That Malcolm drops out of a tree. He had like doubled back, climbed a tree, and like drops down in between everyone. Hey, I've calmed down again. I climbed a tree.
What do you think, Malcolm? Do you trust the camp establishment?
Absolutely not, because now that I know I didn't get a magic cabin, I know that they underestimate me and my abilities, and I think that is very suspect.
Maybe the magic of your cabin is the friends you make along the way.
That seems unlikely. I don't consider any of you friends.
It was worth a shot. I'll trade you. You can have my cabin. I would love to be somewhere that isn't a fucking icebox.
No, thank you. Sounds inhospitable.
Well then, quit complaining that your cabin's boring.
I'm just saying I could handle the very cold cabin if I was given it.
I just gave it to you.
I don't want it.
I want to say, be quiet in Elvish to Malcolm.
Malcolm, you know that. Actually, can you speak Elvish?
I don't know. Let me check.
Pretty sure you're just Dwarven and Common.
Yeah, Common and Dwarvish.
Okay, so the deep-seated negativity between dwarves and elves, you know that what she just said was in Elvish. You know, it's like when you hear somebody speak Japanese, you can be like, you're speaking Japanese. I don't know what you said. That's essentially what just happened. So like you recognize that that's for sure Elvish, but you got no clue.
I assume that was a slight of some sort.
No, it was a compliment.
Okay. And he goes back up the tree.
Okay, you go back up the tree. So you guys are kind of traveling along. You do get back to the place of the fight you guys had, and you see there's actually some more. Actually, roll perception. We'll see how much you just see.
Nat
Hey.
20.
Nat 20 as well.
Yeah.
Damn, you guys compensated for my terrible 8.
Awesome.
Got 9.
So you got a 9? Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. So the 2 nat 20s, I'll just say kind of covers it. So you guys see everything. You can even, see the prints from earlier in the day when you guys fought. But you are able to see, although you notice the tracks kind of from the baby dragon that kind of came down the trail and then jumped into the water. You also see what are essentially those same tracks reversing, going back up and back into like up the trail and up that way. So you have like a clear path if you wish to follow it, if you're interested in that dragon.
Can we please go find my little dragon friend?
I vote we make a mental note of it tonight and go tomorrow when I can actually cast another spell again.
I have to agree with Bernard. It seems unwise to approach the small dragon's big friend without any magic abilities.
I don't know. I'm with Poppy. What other day are we not gonna have kiddos around us? Like, we're not just gonna drag kids to check this dragon out.
Could be.
Well, if they want to learn how to face a dragon, we are.
Okay,
You
dudes.
want to be responsible for the death of 10 kids?
No, dragons won't hurt us. They're nice.
Okay, dudes, I have the perfect way of selling this. I have a coin in my hand. You guys see this coin in my hand?
I see the
Mhm.
coin.
If it's heads to tails, 1 to 10 on a d20, I vote we go back to camp. If it's heads, well, if I didn't say before, 11 to 20 on the d20, I vote we go save the dragon. Are we all good? Cool with this?
Okay.
I
This
don't
seems like
usually
a good system.
I don't usually like leaving things to chance, but I'm very tired from all the trees I climbed today, so I don't feel like making a decision.
I rolled a 3. So I guess that would be a go back to...
Back to camp.
Coin is broken.
Fair is fair.
There you go. Awesome. So you guys, you double down. You get back to camp kind of just before dark. It's leaning on dusk. Telly, can you make a constitution?
Oh, delayed!
$18.
Awesome. Oh, wow. That is surprising.
I am holding
Um,
it together. I was expecting like garbage roll.
So with an 18, you have the capability to like you see like you're coming up on camp, right? It's close to dark. Most people are kind of in their cabins at this point. But you see the outhouse. And you could potentially get to that outhouse.
Oh, I mirthful leap to it. I'm long jump like
You use your ability,
striding.
yeah. So you go, you jump, you dive into that outhouse successfully, I might add.
I'm so proud that when I come out of the outhouse, I like Shrek kick it open. I'm a new man.
What are you doing in my swamp?
Yeah. So you are in there now with your one initial roll. You're in there way longer than it took for everybody else to get over their situation. In fact, so long that you do gain a level of exhaustion that will carry through this long rest, because generally they're recovered after a long rest. So you gain a point of exhaustion that will carry through this long rest because it's like right before you're laying down to sleep. You're not feeling good. Just expel everything. An awesome cleansing plan. So although you successfully made it to that, you get that point of exhaustion. So like I mentioned though, for everybody else, as you come up on camp, you not too many people around. You see the camp cleric, Theresa, kind of going into her little church chapel building, kind of off, into the shade that's kind of enveloped by trees and stuff. And you witness kind of like the lights in Thero's little hut kind of going out, like he's blowing out like some of the torches and stuff like that, kind of gearing up for the first night's sleep. What would you guys like to do?
I wonder where Telly went. I thought he'd want to be here to deliver the head. Oh well. I go to Thero's little cabin or whatever you call it.
Okay, so you go to Thero's like hut. There's kind of the like the counter, I guess, for lack of a better term. The counter. He's not. Oh, actually, here. Hold on. Did he? Because you just like walked right. Yeah. Okay. He's there. He's like kind of closing up shop. And kind of turns to you. He's like, oh, yeah.
Okay, so you said you wanted cool things, and I know you have a weird, you specified body parts, which is a little weird to me, but you know what? I got something for you. I take out the head and kind of just drop it on the counter. It's like, what'll that get me?
Nice.
Also, we all collaborated in killing this. Like, we should probably share the reward.
Of course. Let's see. And he kind of picks it up and is inspecting. He's like, oh, you cut it off pretty good, right? Pretty clean cut, nice. Oh, some of the seaweed's still on there. He's like, let me think about this. Overnight. See you in the morning.
Okay, dude.
And he puts it. He opens up a bag as he sets the head in. It like near disappears. He closes up. He's like, for safekeeping.
Oh, I heard about one of those. They're one of the suitcases of infinite in I forgot the official name. I failed that test. Like it's like a haversack of
bag of holding.
Bag of holding. I lost my flashcards for that test.
Yeah, you can hold a tremendous amount of things, despite the size. So, see you in the morning. And he kind of closes up. All of his torches were kind of blown out. Like the smithy, like fire and stuff was kind of at a low, just down to embers.
Oh, on my way out, I'm like, my hand's on the door of the back. Oh, by the way, how do you, giant black dragons, safe or not safe?
Shit.
I'm just saying, we saw a little one. It was friendly, but apparently it has like mom or dad or something that destroyed Camp and Roll. So, oh, by the way, they say, hold on, I have it here somewhere. Oh, apparently they want us to fix it, otherwise we can kiss the camp goodbye, but, I don't know, the guy's kind of a prick, but, yeah, we got a giant black dragon, but I could probably fight it, right?
Let me talk to Karaki. We'll get to the bottom of it.
Okay. We can take, hey, if I kill a tag, I can kill a dragon, right? I mean, they're pretty much the same power.
No. I'll see you in the morning.
Are we talking like two hacks?
Kind of like his mood went from like being pretty all right when you first saw him, because he's like, oh, like look at this like awesome trophy, and then you mentioned the dragon, and it was just an immediate plummet in attitude. Just not happy at all. That's the thing that you mentioned. But he kind of like saunters off to his little cabin, to kind of shut in for the night. What are you doing / everybody else doing? Aside from Telly, you're shitting yourself, so.
I'm going to find my campers.
Okay, cool. So your campers, they can be found in your cabin. So you open up the cabin, and it's like, although it's like close to dark, you open the door to your cabin, and it's just a blast of heat. And you take a step inside. It's just kind of like, like near sweating by the time you get to your little hammock in your tiny oasis. And Biff and Gif are just wrestling each other. There's been no supervision inside this cabin, so they've just been going crazy.
Kids.
Oh, hi.
I met a dragon.
God, no way.
Did you find water?
Yeah. And they kind of behind, or like kind of within the oasis, there's a couple buckets of water to draw from. And it looks clean. It seems as though it's been like purified, or it was from a like a potable water
kids,
source.
I'm going to bed. You do whatever you want. Roam free. And I'll have some water and then go to bed.
We can stay up for as long as we want. And they just, they're just like running around, like going hog wild. You get your water. You take a sip. It's great. It's awesome. You lay down, and you just hear the sounds of like grunting and wrestling and like play fighting and stuff like that, kind of late into the night. What is everybody else wanting to do?
Malcolm's waiting for Boney like outside the place. He wants to talk to him.
Okay.
Hey Malcolm, so I told the Thursday. I have it written down.
I don't have to write down names. I just remember them.
I told Thero he's gonna let them know, and when I described the Black Dragon to him, he seems to think it's gonna be a little tougher than the Hag. I think it's probably gonna be like a 2 Hag level difficulty. Still probably something we can take.
Seems like a valid assessment. Were you able to sell your war crime head for anything?
He's gonna give us something tomorrow. Like I said, this thing tried to kill us. And listen, I'm gonna lean down to Malcolm. He's like, listen, dude, I gotta say, I was You're a tired ass. I think you really need to smoke some weed, drink some booze, and loosen up. But you've got a code, and I've got my own code, so I kind of respect that. But here's the thing. I've been in actual battles before. Cleaner the rules, like no decapitating, never really survive when the actual hits the fan, you know?
Well, I've also been in a battle as of today, so I know what you're talking about. But how were you able to drink the poop water without any consequences? Can you tell me?
You know what, dude? I'm not gonna lie. I thought it would just be a fun prank. Okay, I didn't know this. Like, I just learned this today. But apparently, reading teaches you things. Okay.
Yes, books are quite important to learning things.
And when I was going through that Paladin book, the old hairy guy gave me, I learned a spell called Purify Food and Drink. So I thought, oh hey, you all think I couldn't handle the water? I'll just purify my little bit, and I thought it would be you guys would have a little wet fart. I did not expect a fireball nuclear destruction. type of deal.
It was quite powerful. I don't know if you remember, but I was able to propel myself somewhat with what happened.
At this moment, I Shrek kick out of the outhouse.
Do not go in there. Woo!
And just kind of hobble my way into my cabin. I don't make eye contact. I just like put a hand up. I'm like, night guys, and I go into mine.
That's
Good night,
fantastic.
Torvald.
Awesome. Wait, what?
Good night to Torvald.
Yeah, so you just hobble your way in. It is, I mean, very cold. It's quite refreshing. I mean, you probably worked up like a little bit of a sweat with what just happened, and you're tired. So it's like the cold air at first being refreshing. It's like when you sweat and then walk out in the middle of winter, it's like, oh, this is nice. And then like 2 seconds later, it's way too much. You get yourself into your little igloo, and you just kind of turn in. There's like no sound from the other one. You can only imagine that they're just kind of in there snoozing away.
All right, then I'm going to go into my top drawer and grab 2 of my darkest bandanas, and I'm gonna wait a bit until I think Malcolm and Boney have gone into their bunks and make my way to Poppy's.
Okay. Yeah, so you're kind of hanging out. Boney and Malcolm, what are you guys doing right now?
Is there anything you would need to like follow up with, Malcolm? Sorry, like literally, dude. I thought it would be like a little bit of indigestion. I didn't expect Hiroshima.
It's quite all right. I must compliment your abilities of subterfuge. That'll come in handy perhaps in the future.
Well, Boney like looks around, making sure no one's around. I had to know how to do stuff like that before I got involved in the church. So,
Are you secretly? Did you used to be a warrior before you were as they say, a party dude?
Well, I wouldn't pat myself on the back enough and call what I did being a warrior. I don't like talking about it, but I kind of lean forward and let him see the scar across my eyes. Like, I didn't get this from a fall, and I guarantee I didn't get this from something I won. So I'll.
Looks like you got it from an impact weapon.
It was an axe. It was a very sharp axe.
It's like an axe.
It was a very, very big sharp axe.
Yes.
Still,
sounds quite frightening. But if you'd like to share a war story sometime, I have one now to talk about, and you could tell me about your multiple war stories.
I think I'm gonna keep a lot of that to myself for now. It's not something I look back on happily. I prefer what I do now, dude. Like, I get fun holy magic, I get a party. I'm happier now, you know.
Yeah, I can appreciate on your path, and but if you ever want to talk about killing stuff, just let me know.
Well, I think there was gonna go along with that, and I, for someone who I don't think has laughed at anything in his life, you're not too bad, Malcolm.
Well, thank you. You're not so bad either.
I head up to my cabin.
All right, awesome. You head off to your cabin. Inside, you get into your tent. You can kind of hear your campers in the other tent just kind of like whispering amongst themselves. You can't really make out what they're saying. And then after, a few moments, it kind of goes quiet and, it dies down for sleep.
Can I just check in on them? Like, hey, you two doing okay?
Yeah, we're doing all right.
Okay, cool.
First night in the suspended tent. It's kind of, yeah.
Okay, well, if you need anything, let me know. And I go to Reg. He's like, hey, Thero, big hairy guy. He hasn't said anything about your teeth, has he?
No, not at all.
Okay, cool. If anyone asks you for your teeth,
It's kind of yeah. No,
You keep
that's
it-
super creepy.
okay, that's what. Like I said, you're green, I'm green. That's green folks gotta stick together, okay?
Okay. And then your other camper's like, yeah. Okay.
You understand? You're an ally. I hold a high five to the other one.
Hey, high fives all around.
What? Did we just become best friends? Yup.
And yeah, you guys just kind of turn in for the night. Malcolm, are you heading back to your cabin? What are you doing?
Yeah, I'm heading back to my cabin.
Okay, cool. Open the door. Your campers are asleep or seemingly asleep at this point. Can you please roll a perception?
I rolled a 2.
A 2, fantastic. So you walk in. I mean, you're tired, and you know you're not feeling awesome from what you've done to yourself, from yourself today. You forget outside a game. You forget to close the front door to the cabin. And what you'll notice when you wake up is that it's closed. And then Telly, so you give it a good chunk of time. You probably wait 30 minutes to an hour for stuff to die down a little bit. You grab your 2 black bandanas, and then can you make a stealth check for me?
19.
Okay. Awesome. That is a very good one. I thought you were gonna wake up somebody. So you're able to just successfully get up and leave surprisingly through the snow. You were able to stay nice and quiet with your hoods.
Weight dispersion.
Yeah. As you exit your cabin and go to Poppy's. And then are you going into her cabin?
I'm guessing it's locked because mine takes a key to get in, so I'm gonna knock. But kind of quietly, I'm gonna look around and knock, I should say.
Okay. So you knock. Poppy, you are awoken by a strange silence in that as soon as you wake up, you realize Gif and Biff are answering the door. Telly, you knock. The door opens. There's nothing in your general line of sight up top as you look down, and the 2 little boys are standing there. It's just like, hi.
Children, go back to bed.
But
Children.
you said
Bed.
Listen here, guys. Go grab Poppy. Let her know I have to.
Don't talk to my children. They're mine. Children,
Okay.
go to bed.
kind of saunter off to get in their little hammocks and go to sleep. And I'm like, well, at least we got a couple extra hours. And they're just like, yeah. And then kind of some brotherly bonding as they walk back to bed in defeat. So yeah, Poppy, you.
What do you want?
I'm gonna hold up the black bandanas and say, let's go get that f***ing dragon.
Yes. I want to see the dragon.
What?
Yes, I want to see the dragon. We made a bond.
All right, I brought the bandanas for stealth, and I tie one around my face like a bandit.
I put my hand out to accept it and do the same.
Yeah,
Should I bring my children?
I was gonna invite them, and then you kind of berated me for talking to them, which felt unnecessary. But
that was my bad.
Yeah, I mean, if
Children.
they can...
Children.
Yeah.
Do you want to come meet a dragon?
Do you have bandanas?
Do we have bandanas? and they go to their bags. They're not black. They are not black bandanas. But they're bandanas. They're just like brightly colored, as most children's clothing is.
That's okay. We'll be able to see them in the dark.
If you die, that would look really bad on me. So don't.
Don't what?
Die.
Oh. Well, no. I mean, we're gonna keep you alive because we're super noble.
Yeah. Okay.
So cool. And they're like pushing each other.
Get on my back, and then I become a horse.
Oh, ooh. And so you become a horse, and they hop on your back. They're like, oh my god, I'm riding our camp counselor. This is so cool. Oh my god. And they're just geeking. They're geeking.
And then I'll wait.
But you're a horse, and you still somehow have the bandana on your face. Wait, what's that?
I'll wait for Telly to lead the way.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Awesome. So you guys make your way. Can you make we'll say a stealth check. Can you each roll stealth at advantage? And then we'll kind of take the average.
If any Spotify executive is listening to this, no, we do not condone child endangerment, except for when it's funny.
14.
14, okay.
23. I switched from my metal dice, and I'm rolling just high as hell now.
Okay, awesome. So, great. You guys are able to scoot through. Luckily, the trail is really big, and it's well and cleared and stuff. So, you guys are all set to just kind of keep going. And you make your way to the trailhead. And from there, here, I guess, let's see, that is, awesome. So yeah, so you guys, you get there in no time. Poppy, you're a horse, so like you're able to just kind of scooch right along. And you are familiar with the trail at this point. This will be your third time traveling it. So you get there in no time. It looks as it was when you initially left it, only like an hour ago, or something like that. So, what would you guys like to do?
Boys, we're gonna have to stay quiet. We don't want to give this thing any advantage. It's also black, so it's gonna be hard to see now that it's dark. So, attentive listening.
I'm gonna kind of shake them off of me, the kids.
Okay, yeah. You kind of shake them off. They hop down.
I want to lift them off.
Yeah.
And then I'll become my human self and cast the light cantrip.
Okay, awesome. What are you lighting up?
Just
what item?
Let's light up the bandana.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so it's similar to how real life headlamp works. You just light up the bandana, and it kind of shows out some light. And yeah, what would you guys? Are you just following kind of the footprints, the path, kind of up into the woods?
Yeah, sounds good.
Awesome. So you start going up. Not too far off the path, there is a small entrance to a cave. As you poke your heads in, you see pools of the very similarly caustic liquid that was on your walking stick, Telly. And can you make dexterity saving throws?
12.
12. Okay.
4.
4. Awesome.
And this is how I die.
Telly, you're able to kind of maintain it's wet. It's it's night. It's the dew is starting to kind of set and all this stuff. It's wet, slippery. Biff and Tiff totally eat it. Or Biff and Tiff. Biff and Gif, sorry. So Biff actually falls, and Giff almost kind of has him there, and Biff grabs his ankle for support and just kind of pulls him down with him as Poppy goes down as well. You're the only one kind of standing at the top, but all of them fall into this little cave, seemingly safe, though you did kind of lose sight of them. Poppy, take a D4 of damage if you could. And then what would you like to do, Telly?
Can I enter behind them and use my natural climber ability so I'm not affected by difficult terrain?
Yeah, of course. So you do that. You get down nice and easy. So in this little cave, it's essentially like a single room. There's like one way in. It's the same way out. But within this, you see like these little cesspools of that caustic liquid. You see what looks to be like lake water, like an inlet of it into this little cave, as well as a couple other holes. They're not too huge, but you can hear the sounds of stuff within them, from deep within them. And within one of these little like cesspools, you see a magical dome that's mostly submerged in the water, filled with gaseous material. It's essentially trapping all of this gas from this one little section. And in a brief moment with the gas moving, you see an egg within it.
How big is it?
I mean, it's like head sized, so larger than an ostrich.
Do I see that?
Yeah, you all do. Yep.
I must have it.
Okay. Awesome. What would you like to do?
Telly, can I keep the egg?
Hold on. Is there anything like around us? Can I check out our surroundings and see if there's any signs of like movement or sounds?
Roll a perception. Actually at disadvantage. I totally forgot. Because you're exhausted, you do take ability checks at disadvantage. So.
You want perception?
Yes.
10.
10. Okay. With the 10, you don't see any signs of life, really. Like I said, what you're hearing from those other smaller holes and channels and small tunnels is very deep within. So whatever it is loud, but it's not close. Other than that, the only other thing that you can really see in here is that like kind of magical protective dome around that egg.
Yeah, I think we can take that. If Thero was gonna give us stuff for a decapitated hag head, imagine what he'd give us for a dragon
No, I
head.
want to raise it myself.
That's gonna be difficult to keep under wraps.
No one will come in my
But
cabin.
you said your cabin's really hot, right?
Yeah.
And is it big on the inside? Mine's massive on the inside.
Huge. Yeah.
Okay.
What
Okay,
happens if
but-
we touch? What happens if we touch the magical dome?
I mean,
Wait. The human head weighs 10 pounds. I learned that from Jerry Maguire. This is both in and out of game, maybe? Does Jerry Maguire exist? Okay, anyway, I'm gonna use Mage Hand to grab this egg and bring it over to us.
Okay. As soon as you cast Mage Hand, as it gets closer to the dome, it touches the little dome, and although it doesn't like evaporate or get zapped or anything, it can't get through it. It can't get to the egg, and you can't hold anything.
You know,
I'm gonna poke the dome.
with your
Okay.
finger.
You poke the dome.
Yeah.
You poke the dome. It's a very... actually, make an Arcana check.
Nat 1.
It's very strong. It's a dome.
All right,
Poppy's
Let's-
looking at it, it's like, no, I think this is a cylinder, not even a dome.
I'm
Let's-
a wizard.
Let's think outside the box here. Biff,
No wonder
Biff,
they failed at
you
school.
seem to have ADHD. Do you have any creative solutions to this problem?
I actually have OCD.
I was talking to the kids you're in charge of.
So as you kind of look around to see them, they're like half of their torsos are in the two little small tunnels that you hear the sounds from, and they're just kind of like poking their heads in. They're just like, I think I heard something down here. I think, but they like can't get any further. Like it's too small even for them to
I
continue.
grab them by the shirt and like pull them back and be like, "Hey, this is a
Hold on.
serious ordeal.
Okay, I'm sorry.
How would you steal this egg?"
They kind of like get a little bit closer. They're like, up here. Let me see. This is gonna be. It's not good. They're like, what if we hit the dome really hard and break it?
So that's an option, but do we draw that attention to ourselves? Is that
Wait, I mean, you want the egg, right?
we do want?
And you just see a slight craze in each of their eyes as they're just like, we just gotta break it.
You don't.
Okay, kids, go for it.
No, I don't like the look that I just saw.
Go
Okay.
for it. Go for it, kids.
They take out their small weapons and attempt to break it. And we'll see, unsuccessfully. So they each together come down onto it, almost like a force field. It, like blows their weapons back as soon as they come crashing down. It like throws them back, and they were unsuccessful in trying to break it.
Don't be like rolled.
I have an idea. You said it was gaseous, right?
Inside the dome, it seems to be only filled with gas, but it's
Okay.
within a pool of liquid.
Okay. Never mind. My idea. I was gonna try and put a candle to it and see if it like burned up. But
Maybe we should keep exploring.
yeah, I mean, we came in here for a dragon, not an egg. So let's let's keep pushing.
Okay. Like I mentioned, the space you're in is kind of the main space, aside from the two little holes that Biff and Giff tried to squeeze through. The only other exit is completely filled with water. As it looks to be the lake water, essentially. So there might be a channel, if you were to swim through it, that would
Can't
get
swim.
you into the lake.
Yeah, I'm not trying to get wet right now and then go into my freezing cold cabin. That doesn't sound nice.
Maybe we can discuss with the group tomorrow if they know ways to penetrate the dome.
So I'm also just throwing this out there. You did become a spider and sit on my head earlier today, and a spider would definitely fit down one of those holes.
That's a good idea. I'll become a spider
Okay. So you become a spider. Where
and
would you
I
like-
crawl through.
Okay. You go through the hole. How far are you comfortable with going?
As far as necessary to see something cool.
Okay. Biff, Giff, Telly, you don't see Poppy for some time. Poppy,
We
12
play
years
rock,
later.
paper, we play rock, paper, scissors while we wait.
the whole time. Poppy, you travel through, I mean, you're snaking along this. as you get, kind of further and further through, you see, I mean, the passageway seems to be large enough for if like that baby dragon were to kind of like tuck its wings in and like really just kind of slither through, it could do it. But other than that, like nothing else seems to have been using this. It opens up into what looks to be a mining shaft and continues on the other side of the wall. Right at the entrance or right at the exit into the mining shaft, you can see a pile of paprika. And you feel that at this juncture, it may be wise to turn around because you've been doing this for like 15, 20 minutes. Because you're a spider, you can't move that fast. So
Yeah, I'll turn around.
okay,
And
awesome.
return.
So you turn tail, and you head all the way back, and you get back into the cave. Telly, you've been sitting there playing rock, paper, scissors with two hyper energetic individuals for like easily a half hour.
Thank God you're back, Poppy. They're making up their own rules. I don't know what the dynamite is, but apparently it beats everything. I just quit playing 10 minutes ago.
And you just see Biff push Gif, and he's like, "Dynamite! You suck!"
There was nothing but paprika.
We need to get Malcolm.
Yeah, let's. I'm kind of sleepy. Maybe we get him in the morning. I also think he's not really someone who would take well to being woken up.
Yeah, that is a good point. He's kind of grouchy with plenty of sleep and exercise. So maybe we talk about this during the day tomorrow.
Yeah. Also, the kids need sleep, I guess.
I don't think they do, but if you say so.
Kids, we're leaving.
Fine.
Say it with a smile. Very good.
And you just turn around, start walking out. They climb their way out of the cave and back to the trail. Are you guys essentially just gonna be heading back to the? Okay, cool. So you guys head back. Can you actually give me one more stealth check? Telly, you have to do this at disadvantage. All right.
The scent of Telly still on him and wafting throughout camp, putting him at disadvantage.
9.
9. Okay. Poppy and if we get roll 4, they're fine.
16.
16. Awesome. So, Poppy, Biff, Gif, you guys make it back to your cabin. All right. Telly, you do not. Theresa, the camp cleric, with a like a hooded lantern, kind of catches you on your way back into camp. She's like, "Making the rounds, are we?"
Yeah, I mean, if you want full disclosure, Boney convinced us that we could drink the lake water earlier today, and I've been shitting my brains out.
Yes. Well, I wish you the best of luck, and I will remind you, staying up too late without your campers, may pose to be a problem. She puts her hand on your shoulder, and you just feel a nice warm embrace as you kind of are near ushered back to your cabin. And then, she keeps walking. She's like, "Remember that. They're yours to look after."
Yeah, I'll keep it in mind. Thanks. Have a nice night.
And she just kind of keeps walking, kind of surveying the grounds. So you guys head back to camp. You head back to camp, head back to your cabins. You are in good shape. Telly, you're not feeling awesome. But and you sleep for the night. And from there, we'll take a pause and pick up next time with the mystery of the dragon egg and the figuring out of the lake issue.
Flea market flannel and a pair of Wrangler jeans, if you know what I mean. He's got a pair of old boots, he's kicked every rock down the street. Yeah, you know what I mean. He wants to be a cowboy. Yeah, he calls himself Redneck Sid. He's just looking for adventure, picking fights with the neighbor kids. Yeah, he dreams about the outlaws, 6 shooters and spitting glue, starting fires in his front lawn. You can tell he's not fitting in.
What are you doing in renting a room? Just passing through. Who's stealing? No.
A little bit older now, he's wishing he was dead, smoking Marlboro Reds, but the feeling never lasts. He's skipping classes on Monday and getting drunk with his buddies. And he still wants to be a cowboy, but now he calls himself Heartthrob Sid. He's just looking for adventure, getting trashed with the neighbor kids. He dreams of Becky and her blonde hair. Man, her parents really hated him. He's doing donuts in their front yard. You can tell he doesn't give a shit.
Where are you here from? No place in particular?
There's no horses in Pittsburgh.
Where are you heading for? No place special?
He's got no fast shooter on.
Oh, Seattle.
End up trapped in the suburbs.
Well, it's all right to live
In
on
a
the horse if
modular
it's your own.
home.